begins, the show starts now. Welcome to the Weekly Roundtable, where the takes are hot and FOMO set to disable. Welcome to the Weekly Roundtable, where friends are made and we all drink that red maple. Break. Juan's got his eyes on the latest somehow. We being forex that make you go wild. Crypto crazy is a man on a mission like a Tesla. He most def got a vision. Weekly Roundtable, we got no cables. Predicting the future using their bagels. Chart is throwing out numbers, no trouble. He finds the gems for real, no struggle. Calculations running through your mind. Weighing options, seeing what you'll find. Crypto waves crashing like the tide. Hold your breath, it's a crazy ride. Welcome to the Weekly.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us this week on the Weekly Roundtable. It is Thursday, December the 12th, 2025. 2024. I'd like to welcome my guest and co-host, Juan G. How are you doing this week, sir?
Doing fired up. I see lots of ups and downs, so can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, it's been a crazy market. We have a lot to cover today. We are going to be touching on XRP, Ripple, explaining what it is, what the hype is all about, and just basically explaining the whole ecosystem when it comes to Ripple Labs. First off, I did want to give a shout out to a friend of mine in the Telegram community, Biggie Bags. Him and his team have just launched, literally just launched about 10 minutes ago, their NFT project called Vampire Slayers. Here's the website. Just want to show it real quick. You can purchase the NFTs or mint the NFT. Sorry, you can buy their token. They also have staking. If you mint an NFT or a bunch of NFTs, depending on how many you have, you can get staking rewards. Here's the backstory. The website's really, really nice, nicely designed. The idea is great. The team behind them is strong. The tokenomics itself is really, really good, as you can see. Everything goes into the ecosystem. Taxes 1-2%. If you look down here, down the bottom of the website, you can increase your rewards, like I had mentioned, depending on how many NFTs you have in different tiers. Gives you an exponential in your rewards from staking the NFT and the token. So take advantage of this. All of the links to the website, the token, the white paper, which actually is right here, goes through everything. What I love about this is the art. They have a really, really good artist for this project. He's a well-known artist in the space, especially if you're on Telegram. So it goes over the different NFTs, the backstory again. And then further down here, it goes into the tokenomics, the taxes, the different marketing, and then, of course, the unique staking that is involved. So it's definitely, they've spent a lot of time on this. The team is really, really well-known. Audits, all that, everything's taken care of. Everything's on the up and up. So it's if you're looking to take a look at it, maybe you like to get into some NFT projects. I know they've been far and few between lately, at least the good ones. But this one I think is going to be really good. So check out the website here. The links are in the description, as I mentioned. Don't sleep on this. It's always good to get in early on any of these types of projects, because as the value of the NFTs go up, and then the longer you're in the staking, obviously the better for it. So that is that. Glad to get that out of the way. So this week we are going to go over the market watch as we normally do, go over Bitcoin and the other cryptos that we like to follow. The market has been very up and down this week. There was a bit of a crash. A lot of people were panicking, but just nothing, just a normal mid-cycle correction, nothing to worry about. I don't believe. I think Bitcoin has found a base. The altcoins had a massive rebound yesterday, which is really, really good to see. Everyone, thanks for joining us. Don't forget, nothing we say on this is financial advice. It's strictly for education or entertainment, as we like to say, edutainment purposes only. So please don't take it as financial advice. We also have a third guest this week, Crypto Cruiser. How you doing, sir?
Doing well. Good to be back after, it's been a couple months.
Good. If you can turn up your mic a little bit. You're a little bit faint, but okay. So let's get into right off the bat. We'll get into the Bitcoin chart, and there it is. Okay, So currently, we have Bitcoin at $100,021. It went back over 100,000. We had a bit of a dip earlier, but it has come back up. As you can see, the liquidity zone here, it's been holding strong for a few weeks now anyway. Anytime the price dips, it seems to go into that zone and it's bought back up and it continues further. Zooming out, everyone can see the bullish bull flag that we were in for what seemed like eternity. It was like 5-6 months or something like that. And then we finally broke out to the upside, and now we're just kind of hovering around the $100,000 mark, which is awesome to see. Bitcoin dominance, we follow this every week. Kind of gives us an idea as to how the market is going, whether or not Bitcoin is the one running or the altcoins. We did fall off a cliff here, and then when Bitcoin had that dump, altcoins, some of them lost 20, 25% or more. So Bitcoin dominance regained a little bit of strength, but as you can see in the last couple of days, or 2 days actually, it's gone right back down again. We'd like to see the Bitcoin dominance somewhere around this 50% or even below range. When that happens, altcoins will really show strength, and you'll see a lot of gains in your favorite altcoins. And then as well, USDT dominance, as you can see, it has gone below this trend line. And then it did touch it a couple of times to, maybe try to get through the resistance, but it was rejected. And it again is coming down. So all this means is, it's at 3.98% USDT. Just means that there's less people holding their stables, and they're buying crypto. So that is also good to see. And then the last one, what else I want to show? No, we'll do that another time. It's not a big deal. I was going to show a MicroStrategy, but that's for another video. We have a lot to discuss on XRP this week. Which I'll show that chart now just while we're here. As many of you know, especially if you are an XRP follower and XRP lover, you know that XRP's had a really good couple of weeks or month or so. It had been ranging sideways for the longest time. Myself, I used to have a pretty good bag, and a few months ago I sold most of it to put into other opportunities, knowing that I could maybe make some gains on that. And I happened to buy some back. Of course, not close to the bag that I had, but at least I have exposure. But this is a beautiful chart. You got that run up, and now we're kind of having a bull flag. And the consensus is it's going to break to the upside eventually. So that's really good to see on XRP. And then, as I said, we're going to go over all the specifics on Ripple, XRP, and the new stablecoin, which has recently been approved. We'll see what happens there. Okay. Want to show this now. This is the liquidations chart. I also like to show this, especially after the last couple of days. We'll give this a refresh. I think this has actually changed quite a bit in just a day. After all those liquidations in Bitcoin, there was hardly any long leverage left in the system. It had all been flushed out. There was $1.7 billion worth of liquidations. What was that timeline I had written down here? But it was, so between Monday morning and Tuesday afternoon, close to $2 billion in liquidations. But as we can see on this liquidation chart, some people just haven't learned their lesson. The market is flooded with liquidation again. I mean, it's not nowhere near as many shorts. So this could indicate that Bitcoin is going to go up in price to try to clear out this leverage here. Currently, what is this? 2.7 billion cumulative shorts in the market, as opposed to only about 150 million in long. So we are short heavy. So usually what happens is when there's a lot of shorts in the market, the price will go up, cascade effect, and liquidate all the shorts. Since we just had a cascade of longs, that's logically what could happen next. And then I also wanted to mention ETFs. ETFs have been strong ever since earlier in the summer, later in the summer, but earlier in the year. There was a lot of outflows, mainly Grayscale and a few others. But ever since then, as you can see on the chart, since October, really, the inflows have been crazy. I mean, BlackRock has been buying like crazy. Fidelity, all the big players have been buying quite a bit. And you can see in the yellow there, the yellow line is the Bitcoin price. So as the inflows on the ETFs have gone up, so has the Bitcoin price. So as long as they keep going, we're smooth sailing. I mean, the bull market is going to chug along, and the more inflows on the ETFs, the better the price for Bitcoin, and in turn, all the altcoins will be. So that is that. And then, There we go. Now, a lot of people are wondering if we're still in altcoin season. Let me give this a refresh. There we go, 69. So we are creeping up. A couple days ago, 3 or 4 days ago, we were in altcoin season. As you can see, it did pop up above the 75, which usually indicates we are in a full-blown altcoin season. But then we had that flush out of the liquidity in the market that brought the altcoin season indicator down below into area. But what does it say here? Not an altcoin season. But we are going back up. You can see at the end here, just a little tick up. I'd say just a matter of a couple of days, and we're going to be right back into altcoin season. Let's see. Black Cat is in the house. Thanks for joining us. NFT price on the Vampire Chicks. I'm not sure. I don't even know what the mint price is. Like I said, it literally just launched. The website is in the description, so if anyone wants to go check it out, you can check it out. Actually, if maybe Blackout, if you do go and give that a look, let us know what the mint price is for those. I think they have different tiers, but it'd be nice to know for sure. And then Blackhat's saying hello to you, Cruiser. He hasn't seen you on here for a little while. Nice to see.
Oh, yeah.
Sopes was going to get in at 52 cents and missed it. Yeah, join the club. A lot of people did. You know, it had been ranging in that area for, God, who knows how long. Talking about XRP now. I'm going to go back to the XRP chart. I'm going to go to, we are on the daily. So I'm going to zoom out here just so people can get an idea. If you're not familiar with XRP, I guess we'll just dive right into it. Okay, before I do, actually, Juan, did you have any insights or anything to add to the Bitcoin watch and the market watch there?
Yeah, it's crazy because I think we discussed it last week about how important it is to be prepared about going up and going down in price movements, and it happened again. And I hope this time people were prepared. I was hoping that people who capitalized when the price went up and people locked in their profits. And then when the price went down, hopefully they rebought again and climbed the train again. I mean, that's the name of the game, but you have to be prepared for those movements. It's not for the faint of heart. It does happen. Like you said, it's a normal correction. So congrats to those who banked. And I'm hoping that the trend continues. I love it when it ranges like this because it's just so much money to be made versus when it's just going up and you're hoping that it goes down, you're scared. But when it's kind of just up and down, you can learn about TNA, prepare yourself and take advantage of it. And Bitcoin has been one of those things right now where it's just ready to pop, ready to kind of take over 100K and shoot up. But the market makers are just happy to stay and kind of range it for a little bit. So I'm not surprised that that's the case. And lastly, that it's very fitting that the rainbow chart is at 69 right now. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, good insight. You're right. It seems like every time we have a massive run up, which we just did a few weeks ago, you know, it's got to range for a little while to gain some strength. And while we're in that area, the market makers decide to, you know, take some liquidity out, make profits, take, you know, earn their dollar, earn their keep before the market eventually pushes it up, whether they wanted to or not.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, the last thing I want to kind of add also, I think there's a lot of end of the year stuff going on. You look at the markets, you got the stocks kind of dropping, and just not hard, just steady decline. So I'm thinking that, you know, taxes might be playing a role, and getting people prepared for next year. So where they put money in, how much they put and where they put it, I think right now is highly important for them. And so I'm not surprised that this volatility is happening. The way the volatility is happening right now is just the reaction to the end of the year.
Okay. Yeah. Good point.
Can I throw a comment in here?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Just want to make a comment based on two different conversations I had recently, and this is more for the newer people in the crypto scene. When we see these spikes, especially with XRP, because it was dormant for so long, and all of a sudden it's skyrocketing. It's okay to take profits on these things, but I had somebody ask me if they should sell it all now, as soon as it starts going down, so they don't lose the profit that they made. So just putting it out there, don't sell it. when it does start coming back down. That's definitely not the time to sell it. And like I said, this for the newer people that are into the crypto scene, deciding to get into it this year or last year. I had somebody ask me if they should sell it all now before they lose the profit they made this year. The answer is no. Just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, no, that's just, I mean, especially for new into crypto, your instinct is to, self-preservation. So when the price starts coming down, your instinct is to sell. But yeah, as you said, that's definitely the wrong thing to do. You never want to sell into red candles or buy into big green candles. It's quite the opposite. As the price is going skyrocket and you're well into profit, that's when you start taking a little bit off the top and taking profit. As the price goes down, if it gets, if there's a substantial dip for a day or 2 days, that's usually the time to buy. So yeah, you're right there. Okay, so I wanted to bring this back up again. Thanks, Black Cat, for doing that. For anyone that's wondering, the NFTs are 0.16 ETH, 162 of 1,200 sold for the regular, and then I guess for the rares is 0.32 ETH, and they're 78 out of 400 minted. So it's going really, really well. The mint just started. What time are we at now? We're at 7:27. So not even half an hour, and they're already doing really, really well. So thanks for doing that for me, Black Cat. I appreciate it. Okay, back to the XRP price. Now this is the chart going back all the way to May of 2018. As you can see, XRP had its run up in the last bull market. And then it came down. It's just been going sideways from, what are we here? June of 22, April of 22, all the way to just about, 2 weeks ago. It hadn't really done much at all. And the main reason for that, I'm sure there are a lot of other reasons, but the main reason for that is because the SEC, right about here in April, the SEC sued Ripple and by and large XRP for being a security. So that lawsuit has lasted for quite a long time. You can see this little tick up here in what is that? July of 23, July of last year, is when the word came out that Ripple had actually won a part of that case. The fact that they weren't a security, but then the SEC was still going after them for other things like pre-sales and whatever else they could get on them. So there was a bit of a spike, but then the price came back down when investors realized that the case wasn't completely over. But then, the election took place, and the new in the U.S. and the new administration is very pro crypto. There's a lot of other catalysts, like bullish news coming out that that case and others could be thrown out. XRP is going to be approved, and we're eventually approved for a stable coin. Which is going it's RLUSD, which is basically it's the real USD is what it's called, and we'll go through that in a minute as well. So all these bullish catalysts, and then that combined with retail coming in, who remembers XRP, who remembers HBAR, who remembers Quant, a lot of those old, we'll call them dino coins that have been around for a couple of markets, or at least one. And they see that they were still cheap in price. They haven't moved. So that combined with all the other news sent a lot of those tokens skyrocketing, especially the ISO 20022, which we will also touch on. So that was one of the biggest reasons for this chart just being flatlined. A lot of people were calling it dead, that it wasn't going to do anything, wasn't going anywhere. And then, when you least expect something, the opposite of what the sentiment is what happens. And as you can see, it just skyrocketed. It went, where were we down here? 50, 51 cents, all the way up to a high of, what did we get up to? About 289, 290 in the matter of, a week and a half, 2 weeks, which is incredible movement. Good to see, though, for all those people that have been hardcore believers in XRP and, telling people that it's going to eventually pay off. Well, congratulations to you, because it finally has. So good to see. We'll keep that chart up while we are discussing. Gentlemen, comments, questions?
I think for a lot of those who maybe not understand the whole process as to why they were getting sued and why regulation and enforcement through regulation is necessary, right? So there are a lot of rules and regulations when it comes to stocks and how they are presented and how they're sold and how they're marketed. Um, but crypto is not one of those. It's not a stock. It's not. It wasn't. It's not wholly designed for you to say, "Here, let me buy this, and I'm going to make money." That is not the purpose. The purpose of crypto was actually of XRP. The way they set it up is so you can use their tokens for other stuff. It's like, hey, I'm going to buy this as a utility for other things. So that in itself is not a security. However, as with anything, as things get used, right, and they become scarce, the price starts climbing. So some people held it just to hold it, right? You're not forced to use your utility items just because they're there. And of course, like with anything, if the government cannot make money off of it, they come in and try to take their piece of the pie. And here they go trying to use their regulations in a way that is anti-consumer. And it kind
Regulation
of
by enforcement.
correct. And here we go. They paid the price. It kind of blew up in their face. And they tried it with multiple. XRP wasn't the only victim of this. Again, right? The whole point is they tried to prove that they're a security, and they failed at this thing. Now, of course, by the letter of the law, they're not. Now, is there some gray areas? Of course, they are. Right? I think anybody here in the crypto space is not um, dumb enough to believe that there's no gray in between these lines. But this is why we need true and proper regulation to help foster, right, the proper growth of crypto and protect it the right way. But of course, when it just launched, no one thought that it was going to be this $1 trillion industry, and here we are. Right. So it's just vital for us to really kind of get that understanding that crypto's here. It's here to stay. Regulations they're supposed to not only protect us, right, but they're also gonna slow down a little bit our market. It's gonna happen, right? And but it's gonna be necessary for us to kind of put these rails in place for certain things, right? Whether it's rug pulls, whether it's making sure that we're able to protect our funds. So these things are going to be vital, right? But how they do it, I'm hoping the Trump administration does kind of keep to their word and knock this out. But and that's one of the things that really kind of not just affected XRP negatively, right? Because they were the first to kind of really get smacked with this, but it affected all other cryptos at the same time, right? If you look at what happened to XRP in the price drop, all the other altcoins, even Bitcoin, kind of suffered a little bit because again, where are they going with this? And but there's certain, I guess, stars that never got affected. Bitcoin wasn't as deeply affected. ETH wasn't as deeply affected. So it's just funny how those never got attacked, but those were the first ones to kind of come out. So there's a lot of background stuff that happens.
It's interesting to note, too, that Ripple may not have been the first one that got sued by the SEC, but they were the first major company that fought back. They decided to take them to court, take it to the end. They spent the millions upon millions of dollars. And what they essentially did is they were fighting for the entire space. And, it brings whole new meaning to the term, if you can't beat them, join them, because now that we've seen, crypto being more widely adopted, we have a pro-crypto administration, and it looks like the enforcement, or I should say, what's the word I'm looking for? Regulation by enforcement, we'll say. That's kind of gone to the wayside. That's not going to be the approach going forward, which is really good for the entire space. But you can really, thank Ripple and their team for doing what they did, because they were fighting for the entire space, not just Ripple itself.
Totally agree. And you're right that it's always important to try your best to stick up for what you believe in, and let the courts kind of figure these things out, right? Because at the end of the day, probably the first ones that were attacked by the SEC just had signed their waiver, sure, Let's just nip this in the bud. Let me pay my money and get this over with, right? XRP didn't want to do that. They saw, hey, this is not right. And if it wasn't for them, they probably would have kept continuing to just attack everybody.
Yep.
But because they set precedents, right? All these other ones failed. All these other lawsuits failed. So, we owe a big thank you to them, right, for sticking up for us crypto holders and showing that they're here to stay.
100%. Cruiser, did you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think this lawsuit that they've been going through for so long, it it really shows the resilience of the company. And I think by fighting as hard as they did, and coming out the way they did, I think they really positioned themselves as far as Ripple as a company, really one of the leaders or the leader in the industry. It's
Yep.
going to go a long way for people's trust in the company itself. You know, tokenomics, everything aside, Ripple as a company, I think they're coming out of this miles ahead of where they were.
Yep, true. And we'll be mentioning a few more reasons for that, the trust factor. Let's see, Black Hat, XRP will have a dip. Expectation is easily $5 to $10. Expect another year or so, and it hits $20 in his honest opinion. Well, that's quite the prediction. Now, I've heard people say that as well. I'm not entirely convinced. I believe it will eventually, hit the $20 mark. But whether or not it's down in another year, well, that's up for debate. But yeah, it's a good prediction from Black Hat. Okay, so we'll touch on a little bit on the overall ecosystem. First of all, Ripple. People are wondering, what's the difference between Ripple and XRP? In a nutshell, Ripple is the parent company, and parent company to XRP, which is called the Ripple Network or the XRPL. So Ripple is the parent company. XRP is the actual token, and then the XRPL is the Ripple Lab Network, or Ripple Net Network, as they like to call it. Basically, it's for cross-border payment, solve traditional bank problems. Traditionally, when banks try to transfer, or someone tries to transfer a large sum from one bank to another or one country to another, it could take several hours, sometimes several days to make that transfer. There's a lot of fees involved, and what Ripple is trying to fix is that exact problem. They want to be able to do cross-border payments almost instantly at a fraction of a penny or a fraction of the cost. Now, big banks, banks in the U.S. and Canada, bigger countries around the world, they tend to keep some money in their banks in different countries. And, that's kind of counterproductive because they can't use that money for lending or anything like that. And we're talking billions of dollars. So one of the other use cases for the XRPL, or for XRP in particular, and pretty soon the stablecoin, which we will touch on, they're going to be able to use that as the banks are going to be able to use that as a middleman between the banks. So it's like a bridge currency, which makes that very attractive because then banks won't have to worry about holding actual fiat or cash in those banks. They can keep them at their parent branches and then use it for lending and earn fees on it. Of course, banks are all about earning on fees, especially. So that's the biggest use case. Now, Cruiser, you had a little bit of information on the RLUSD, the real USD that is going to be approved or has been approved. It's going to be implemented.
Yeah, and there seems to be a lot of, how should I put it, misconstrued hype, I guess, from what I'm seeing and hearing. Putting bids out there for exorbitant amounts of the stablecoin when it comes out. Which kind of baffles me because it's a stable coin. It's only going to be worth $1 any way you look at it. But the advantage it's going to have is it is backed by Ripple. It's not pegged to XRP. It's not directly backed by XRP, but it is backed by Ripple as a company who just happens to have 40 billion XRP in escrow. So I mean that's, well, today's price, that's approaching $100 billion worth of XRP if it ever came down to needing it, but that's unlikely. So I think that that might be adding false hype to the launch, but once it is launched, I think people will get a grasp on it.
I think the big takeaway there, though, I think the reason there's so much hype is because one of the biggest things, if you've been in crypto for a while, especially if you make a lot of gains, you don't want to be putting that in your bank as fiat. So what you want to do is you want to hold it in stablecoin, use it as you need it, or hold on to it for the next bull market, whatever the case may be. And there's so much. USDT is always under fire. There's always the risk of USDC depegging. So having a stable coin that's regulated and backed by a big company like Ripple, that's the big, the reason that I think people are getting hyped about it is because they can finally, deposit into or swap into a stable coin that they know is not going anywhere.
Yeah, and the biggest advantage I think Ripple has over the other stable coins is that Ripple has their own internal trust to facilitate all the transactions, whereas stablecoins such as Tether, they have to rely on external financial companies, banks, whatever it is. So I think that's a big thing to that's appealing about the
True.
USD.
Yeah, your volume is still a little bit low, Cruiser. I don't know if there's anything you can do to turn that up. But okay, so for those that aren't really familiar with XRP and the whole ecosystem, it's a little bit different than what you're used to. A lot of people that are onboarded this cycle, they're into Solana. They've probably got the Phantom wallet or even Sui with the SafePal wallet. It's pretty easy to use. Whereas if you use, say, the Shaman wallet or whatever on XRP, and then you try to do transactions, it's a little bit different than what you're used to. There's trust lines, meaning you can download these trust lines, which are future airdrops. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you are used to it, it's really not that big of a deal. But you can tell that they are a completely different company than most of the others. They've done things their own way, which, in my opinion, it's actually a good thing. Now, one thing I did want to mention too is that XRP as a token, which is used to transact on the XRPL, since its inception, it's had over 7 billion transactions to date, which is, pretty crazy to think about compared to like Solana, who's only been around for maybe 2 years, and they've had 400 or 500 million. But of course, a lot of that is meme coins. But yeah, it's been around for a long time. It stood the test of time. It's been in the top 10 in the crypto market for quite a long time, and that's even during the SEC lawsuit. So it shows the resilience, and it shows the community is behind the XRP token, and that's one of the things that is a big plus for XRP and the token price and the token itself. Huge community behind it, and those who have been invested in XRP for several years now, they're diehard XRP fans. We have one of our guests a few months back, Jenna X. She's always been a big XRP supporter, but she tells it like it is. When things weren't going good, she would mention it, and you can just see the community getting on her. They're diehard fans of XRP, and that's good to see. And it's finally paid off for them, which is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, remember, this is one of those things where holding and holding for a long time, learning about dollar cost averaging came into play. People who were diehard for it, are reaping the rewards right now, right? Because they probably dollar cost average down to like 50 cents, 60 cents.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, right? I mean, that's one of the stories you want to hear. At the same time, you also gotta be realistic. How large does this market cap is going to be allowed to be for it to reach $20, right? So those things kind of have to play a role. I don't think there's going to be any token right now or any blue chip that's going to surpass Bitcoin's market cap, for example, right? But if that's what it's going to take to get a certain amount, then be realistic with your expectations, right? So those are things that you guys will have to kind of learn about to make sure you maximize your earning potential. It doesn't mean you stop buying XRP. No, you just learn how to play the game with XRP. Black is 100% correct when he mentions that the price is going to drop. Yeah, it is. But just like with anything, and it'll have this volatile moment and go up and down. And I'm hoping that XRP continues on its path to success. So those who are believers of it will continue to be able to reap those rewards, right? And they continue to exercise great judgment and how they want to proceed with their future. Because we're not just talking about XRP, the stable coin, right? Because I think that's going to help them facilitate a lot of their future goals. And I think that's why it's so important, this token and how it launches. This is going to probably fund how they're going to do money transfers in the future. But it's also how the other transactions might also occur. And I'm pretty sure they haven't discussed those plans yet. So again, right, the future is bright for XRP, right? But you, like with anything, and I think this channel has always been about making sure we take our profits, right? Don't sell everything. Hold on to what you can hold on to. Reap back what you put in, and then decide what percentage you want to hold for the long term. And this is a great case of making those decisions. Congrats to those who got in early.
Yeah, that's a great point, because there's a lot of people I know that own XRP, and they bought a lot of it to take advantage of this bull market, and almost every single one of them have said that when the market is over, they're going to keep some XRP in their wallet for the long term, for 5-10 years down the road. And Black Cat says here, are you positive or negative toward the fact that South Korea holds 10% of XRP, plans to use it as currency? They are also not taxing crypto gains until 2026. Yeah, you're right. They are not taxing crypto gains, which is awesome. And then Cruiser had a answer here. According to XRPL, Korea on X, 10% of Korean population owns XRP. Korea represents 15% of all XRP in circulation. Now, I don't know. See, one of the biggest negatives or the comments that I saw on all social media was, XRP will never be a payment crypto, and it won't be used for cross-border escrow, maybe, yeah, stuff like that. But now that they are going to be approved with a stable coin, the real USD, that changes everything, because now XRP itself may not be used as the currency for the cross-border payments, but the real USD probably will be. So that changes the game. A lot of people are saying that it would never be a currency of transaction or transfer, but now I believe it probably will be. Let's welcome up in Stylus. I don't know if she planned on saying hello or talking, but I saw her there in the waiting room. I thought I'd bring her up. How are you doing, Stylus?
Hi guys, I'm so glad to see you, to hear you. I joined a little bit later, but I really enjoyed the conversation today. I just want to add that right now it's very important to understand the power of knowledge and education. It's very important to stay informed, even if you are not the early adopter, not the person who bought XRP. I personally don't hold it, and I came into crypto much later than all of you guys, but I think that it's so important to at least be informed what these companies do, because we don't know. When people say that will never happen, it's not really actually a fact, because we don't know what can happen. The next month, this company, this team will come up with a new strategy, will partner with a new company, something changes on the market. It happens too fast, and eventually we get results. Some companies fail the market, and some companies actually survive and make such great breakthroughs. If you believe in the community, which is a huge deal, if you believe in the idea, in the service, if you stay informed, at least check news, you don't have to buy, you don't have to actively even participate, just be informed. But if you actively participate, I think that it's important to highlight those players that you want to follow, those communities that you want to join, because this is what actually eventually will make some kind of profit to you, whether you expected it or not, like we all got this, not all, but some people got this airdrop this week, claimed ME, right, Magic Eden. We just used the wallet. We didn't think about airdrop at the point when we started to use it, right? And there were several airdrops like this. We just used the service first. We like it or not. I like Phantom, for example. You don't know what will happen, and it's important also to keep talking about crypto, because I am just shocked. Honestly, I'm shocked how people of our age, which is like around 30, 40s to 50s, let's say this gap, many people have no idea. They have never heard of anything crypto. Did you know about that? And this is like a normal lifestyle for them. If you know these people, they are your friends, well, get them informed that they need to get on this. They need to understand this is developing. This is huge. It's huge for them. It's opportunities that they're missing. I think this is like super important to highlight in all these talks.
That's a great point. But the most important thing about people, being able to take advantage of this once in a lifetime time opportunity is to do it safely. So they have to make sure that they educate themselves on exactly how to go about it without getting wrecked, without getting scammed or whatever. You're no stranger to getting scammed,
Yeah,
Silas, unfortunately. But
unfortunately, I am that
yeah,
person. Yeah.
but you're
Yeah.
also right. You had mentioned that people say that, oh, this can't happen. But if you were in the last bull market back in 2019, 2020, if you were to say to somebody, oh, Bitcoin's going to get an ETF, you would have been laughed at. And here we are 4 years later, and look, we have a Bitcoin ETF and an Ethereum ETF. So you're absolutely right. Never say never. Crypto is always
Yeah.
evolving and ever changing. And then now, especially with institutions getting in, pro crypto governments, getting exposure, the sky's the limit. But just got to educate yourself. Education is power, and that's the best way to take advantage of the market.
Yeah, by the way, about getting scammed, and like, I processed this all scams that happened to me this first 2 years that I am in crypto. Lots of things happened. I got rocked several times. And when I processed this, I think that, it was a huge learning experience for me in terms of trust, in terms of technology. There were so many plus things to this. So I definitely don't want anyone to get through this, and I definitely don't want you to lose money. That's why I suggest to at least get informed and check news, because
Yeah.
I really see that people don't get into this, and it's not about lifetime opportunities that are missing money wise. It's not only monetary, it's also technology wise. People are afraid of AI right now. Eventually, you will not get replaced by AI. You will get replaced by people who already know what it is. And the same will happen with crypto. You will not be able to access certain opportunities just because other people knew something, just because they were in the community. So I'm a huge pro to communities. I'm very happy for XRP community and for all those people who see actually results of their waiting and hanging around and sticking to this project. Super exciting times.
Very, very exciting. Okay, just a couple more points here on XRP before we move on to some Coinbase information that Cruiser has. I wanted to mention that XRP is one of the ISO 20022 compliant tokens. For those that don't know what that is, we actually have a video on the channel that we did an extensive review of the ISO 20022. But in a nutshell, it's the language of the banks. And in order for crypto to be compliant and banks to be able to use it, they have to be compliant with this ISO 20022. So refer to the video down. It's about 8 months ago, and we go into detail on that. And the last thing I want to mention is that Ripple is also one of the companies. Speaking of governments, they are one of the few crypto companies that have made donations to various government campaigns to the tune of over $70 million over the years. So they are they've got their hands in government pockets, which a lot of people may not like that. But at the end of the day, in order for a payment system or a currency, quote unquote, to be successful, you gotta be in line with governments in order to work hand in hand, work together to be able to be successful. Okay, gentlemen, did you have anything to add on the XRP thing before we move on? Juan, I'll start with you.
Actually, I just wanted to answer Black Hat's question.
Okay.
positive about South Korea owning all that XRP, because I think it's going to help adoption worldwide.
Agree.
So
Juan?
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, for me, I'm one of those guys. I do not like money in government. I think it handcuffs people to do the right thing because without their money in their pockets, then that means they can't reelect themselves because they can't afford to do so. And I think,
Mhm.
unfortunately, not to get into politics, but um, I don't want my politicians stuck between doing the right thing and having the ability to reelect themselves. However, I also know that we do need the ability to bring up topics like this, where it's beneficial to not just the ultra wealthy, but the everyday person, so they can actually be in charge of their own future, their own wealth,
Mhm.
and having this ability to kind of um, like having North Korea making I mean that's great. Imagine if everybody owned one Bitcoin when they were born.
Hmm.
How rich would
Yeah.
they be today?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a great head start, whether it's for college, whether it's for buying their first house, having their first child. I mean, these are things that we should be able to do. I mean, there's other countries that kids are born with like certain amount of oil reserves under their name. And we are one of the wealthiest countries in the world, and I think that we should be able to do that for our future, for maybe not for us today, but at least for our future kids and future generations. So, yeah, I think XRP is on its right track to kind of position themselves with this stable coin because there needs to be a certain amount of trust when it comes to stables, right?
Hmm.
And you can't just say, let me have two XRP, and it's not worth two XRP. Maybe it's worth four, maybe it's just worth one. So having this stable will kind of go a long way and uh, position themselves as the new USDC that's going to be ubiquitous, not just
Mhm.
locked in Coinbase. I'm not just locked in certain things, but it's going to be ubiquitous amongst maybe prosumers or consumers and corporations. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah,
I just
last cycle, BNB was one of the biggest cryptos out there because of their DeFi side, and they had BUSD, which has since been delisted in a lot of places. But the BUSD stablecoin and the BNB coin were used hand in hand in a lot of these DApps, which really helped BNB shine and outperform. So yeah, I don't think anyone will have anything to worry about when it comes to XRP because even when the stablecoin comes out and used for cross-border payments, XRP will still be the crypto coin that is the representative of Ripple Labs, the company. So
right.
it still has its place. Cruiser, you're going to add something?
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify something because maybe I misunderstood. It was my understanding that it's the
I
Oh,
think we lost them.
oh no, he's back.
um, it was my understanding that it's the residents, like the population itself of South Korea, that has all the XRP and not the government. Did I misunderstand that somewhere, or is it the government that owns it? Maybe somebody
I have
else
no
has an
idea.
answer.
No,
Well,
it's the population. Most of the population owns a good chunk of it. It's not the government. But remember, the fact that it's being able to be used in their country, right? Like
Right.
it's common
Right.
knowledge that people own XRP is what plays a role.
right.
Here, I can't go to the bodega and be like, hey, I have like you know zero point zero 0.01 Bitcoin. I need to buy some food. I need to get some stuff. You know, there it's like, yeah, they just freaking tap their phones together and transfer XRP at will.
Right. Okay.
Okay, we were going to do a little thing on Coinbase, but I think we'll save that for next week, Cruiser, if you don't mind. We got to
Yeah.
move on to other things because we're already approaching 8 o'clock. Um, unless you want to touch on it now. I know you're having because you keep freezing and your mic is really really low.
How is it now?
That's a little better.
Is it a little better? Okay. I can do the Coinbase thing next week.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do Coinbase next
Yeah,
week
because it'll
because
take a couple minutes just to make sure I don't miss anything.
Okay. Yeah. For those that are wondering, there have been incidents with Coinbase freezing accounts, and we Cruiser actually took a dive into it, and we figured out some of the reasons and possible goings on there. So we'll do that next week. But for now, I also wanted to, while I have you here in Stylus, we'll go over this right now. Here's the DGens Crypto Weekly newsletter that comes out each week. I believe, let's see, we have 7 now. Yep, 7 weeks into it. So anyone that's looking to, educate themselves about crypto, read very informative articles each week. The link is in the description for this site, weekly.beehive.com. And just come on here and check out these awesome articles. Let's see, Flush, Ripples, 99,000, bullish. Yeah. I haven't read this week's yet. I believe this came out yesterday or the day before, but I'm going to read this one
Yeah,
myself.
it comes on Tuesday.
On Tuesdays? Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think that, this is every week just the overview of things.
Mhm.
I kind of hear myself. I'm so sorry. I will stop talking. But thank you so much. Yeah, definitely a great resource for people who just getting into crypto and just want to touch base with this.
Yeah, it's great information, and not only the newsletter, but if anyone does subscribe to the, hop on over to their Discord as well. I have the description, or sorry, the link for their Discord in the description as well. So go ahead, give them a follow, check it out. It's a great place to gain knowledge, especially if you're new in the space, and even if you're not new in the space, but you don't really understand NFTs or some of the market. Great channels in there. They have trading channels, they have insights, they have crypto discussions, you name it. It's a great place to educate yourself on crypto in general. And like I said, the link is in the description. The other thing I wanted to mention as well, while we're here, the link is in the description. The channel is sponsored by Bitunix. It's one that I actually use for trading. No KYC, no VPN, no nothing required. You can do spot trading, margin trading. Right now, they have up to $5,500 in rewards for newcomers when you deposit. So check out Bitunix. Just need an email, read the description, the disclaimer, and then you're off to the races. You can start trading. So that's that. I'll put the XRP chart up one more time. See how the price is doing. Yeah, it's still $2.34. We have a little bit of a dip today. Okay, gentlemen, we're coming toward the end of the stream, so I guess we can get any last words in. I'm not sure if we missed anything. Hopefully, everyone has a little bit of an understanding what Ripple Labs is, what XRP is, and the entire ecosystem. I know a lot of people are kind of confused as to exactly what the heck it does, but that is what it does. And it is starting to get into meme coins now as well on the XRPL, and they're starting to take off. They do have one Trump and another one called Bear that are starting to do well. So Juan, I'll start with you. Any last words before we end the stream this week?
Yeah, I think we all are happy that Gary Gensler is planning to move on. However, like I was talking to a couple of people earlier today about it. They plan on moving on with someone else, and thank God that they were able to kind of pause this vote. But they're trying to add Caroline Crenshaw back into the fold again, and another anti-crypto person. And I don't need someone who's pro crypto and as SEC. I need someone who's pro open enough to understand the problems that exist and find a way to say yes. Right? How can we fix this? Not go on another spree of trying to eliminate crypto entities because they don't want to pay the government. So I think there's got to be a better way to kind of get these people nominated than to leave it in the hands of politicians. Other than that, congrats to those who were on last week and heard me talk about gold and its trend to 2,700. As you know, it broke 2,700 today. Hopefully you guys held and made a nice little change in your wallets. And it's trending right now again. So we're hoping that it's going to now go into this range mode. We didn't get to talk about gold too much. So I just wanted to give those highlights and hope to see you guys again next week. It's fun doing this and can't wait to do it again.
Awesome. Cruiser, what about yourself?
Well, I'm going to stay in the XRP space for a second here and just say I was an XRP maxi at one time where 100% of my portfolio was XRP.
You and me both.
Yeah, and I did diversify. I cut my XRP holding in half and used those funds to put into various other assets, and I have no regrets for that. But I am happy to say that I still have a good bag of XRP, and I am one of many that are very thankful that it finally is starting to move. And I'm on board with Black Cat and looking, agreeing with his $20 prediction, and I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. And Stylus, any last words from you?
Well, I'll just wish you a great week. Thank you guys for having me for this couple minutes. I wish everyone to have a great trading weeks because this is finally what we were waiting for so long.
Agreed. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, if anyone does decide to try out leverage trading, please make sure you have a risk strategy. Don't over leverage. Use low leverage and be smart. Do your research. Do your TA. Make sure you don't get wrecked because a lot of people did get liquidated on that dip that we had a couple days ago. So be very, very careful. Do your own research before you do any trading. But if you are looking to start trading, consider using the link in the description. It really helps the channel for Bitunix. All right, thanks everyone for joining us this week. It was another great episode. Anybody has any comments or ideas or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section of the video once it's posted. Thanks very much, everyone. Have a good week, and we'll see you all next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Good night.
Welcome to the weekly roundtable, where the takes are hot and FOMO set to disable. Welcome to the weekly roundtable, where friends are made and we all drink that red maple. Break. No FOMO zone is in full effect. Chasing profits not like regen, getting wrecked. Mining that gold in the digital sea, living large in virtual fantasy. Weekly roundtable, we got no cables, predicting the future using their bagels. Chart is throwing out numbers, no trouble. We find suggest